Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive into some seriously cool tech? We know you're fascinated by the future, especially AI and robotics. So today, we're going to be exploring the mind of Jensen Huang. He's the CEO of NVIDIA. Ever heard of him?
Oh yeah, they're a pretty big deal.
They design the chips and the software that power, like, everything. Gaming, self-driving cars, even mind-blowing AI advancements. Our mission today is to really try to understand Huang's vision for the future of computing and see how it might actually impact your life.
Yeah, that's what's really fascinating about NVIDIA. They aren't just creating technology, they're shaping the entire future of computing. Huang has this vision where AI is everywhere, helping us to understand the world, predict it, even shape it.
Okay, I'm hooked already. But to really get Huang's vision, we need to go back to NVIDIA's roots. And it's a pretty wild story, starting with, believe it or not, video games.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that video games would lead to such a huge revolution in tech. But back in the 90s, game developers, they were all about pushing for super realistic graphics. But the problem was, the hardware at the time, it just couldn't keep up. That's where NVIDIA came in. They created the GPU, the graphics processing unit, and it changed everything.
So GPUs made games look amazing, but how did that lead to changing the whole world of computing? That seems like a big leap.
It is a big leap, but it all comes down to how GPUs work compared to CPUs. Think of a CPU like a super focused chef. They're working on one dish at a time, really good at handling complex tasks in a very specific order.
Okay.
Now imagine a whole team of chefs, all working on different parts of the meal at the same time. That's the GPU. It excels at parallel processing, tackling tons of smaller tasks all at once.
Gotcha. I could see how that would speed things up in gaming. But I'm guessing Huang? He saw the potential for GPUs to go way beyond just making pretty pictures.
Absolutely. He recognized that parallel processing power could be harnessed for anything that required massive amounts of computation, especially in scientific fields. He even called GPUs time machines.
Time machines?
Yeah, because they could accelerate simulations and predictions, allowing scientists to see results much faster.
That's fascinating. Do you have any examples of how this time machine idea played out in the real world?
Oh, yeah. There's a great story about a quantum chemistry scientist who was working on this project that he thought would take his entire lifetime to complete. But with the help of NVIDIA's GPUs, he was able to finish it in a fraction of the time.
Wow.
Just think of the implications for fields like medicine, climate modeling, anything that requires crunching huge amounts of data. We're talking about accelerating progress by years, maybe even decades.
That's incredible. It really highlights the power of these GPUs.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, how did NVIDIA go from making chips for gamers to becoming this driving force behind the AI revolution?
That's where CUD comes in. It's a platform that NVIDIA developed that essentially gives programmers a way to unlock the power of GPUs for all sorts of tasks, not just graphics.
So it's like they gave everyone a key to this super powerful engine. That seems like a pretty bold move.
It was a huge gamble. Making this complex technology accessible to a wider audience, it could have easily backfired. But Huang believed in the power of democratizing computing. He knew that if more people had access to this kind of power, it would lead to incredible breakthroughs.
And boy, was he right. I'm guessing this is where the whole AI revolution really started to take off.
Exactly. CUDA paved the way for a whole new era of AI development. And to really see how transformative it was, we need to talk about a pivotal moment in 2012, the rise of AlexNet.
AlexNet, wasn't that an AI system that won some kind of image recognition competition? I vaguely remember hearing about it.
It wasn't just a win, it was total domination. AlexNet, which was trained using NVIDIA's GPUs, crushed the competition in an image recognition challenge. This was a major turning point because it showcased the power of a new approach to AI called deep learning.
Okay, so deep learning, what's that all about? How is it different from how we used to program computers?
In the past, we would program computers by giving them very specific instructions on how to complete a task, step by step. Deep learning is different. It's about training computers with massive amounts of data, letting them learn and adapt on their own, figuring out patterns, and making connections that humans might miss.
So it's like teaching a computer to think for itself.
In a way, yes. And AlexNet proved that this approach could solve problems that had seemed almost impossible before. It was a game changer for fields like computer vision, speech recognition, even language understanding.
Wow, that's incredible. But I'm guessing this didn't happen overnight. I bet even Huang had to wait a while for his vision to become a reality.
He did. Huang often talks about a 10-year gap between when he started investing in these technologies and when they really started to take off. He believed in the fundamentals, even when others doubted him.
He sounds like a visionary. I bet it takes a certain kind of conviction to stick with an idea for that long, especially when the path ahead is so uncertain.
It does. And Huang's unwavering belief in the power of accelerated computing and AI stems from a few core principles that have guided his every move. These are the beliefs that allowed him to see the future before it arrived.
So what are these core beliefs? What made him so sure that this technology would change the world?
Well, first and foremost, he believes that accelerated computing is the future. That's the foundation of everything NVIDIA does.
Okay, that makes sense. But what else?
Secondly, he's convinced that deep learning can learn from any type of data, whether it's images, text, sounds, you name it. And even more importantly, he believes deep learning can translate between different data types. Think about the applications of that.
I'm trying to wrap my head around it. What would that even look like in practice?
Imagine an AI that can understand the relationships between images, text, and sound, seamlessly translating information between them. It could revolutionize how we interact with computers, how we learn, how we create.
That's seriously mind-blowing. Okay, so accelerated computing and the power of deep learning. What's the third belief?
The third belief is that the limits of what AI can learn are constantly being pushed, and we're only just beginning to scratch the surface of its potential.
So there's even more to come. It sounds like we're just at the beginning of this AI journey. This is definitely making me think about what I believe is possible with technology. It's exciting and a little bit daunting at the same time.
It is. And the more we understand these core beliefs, the better we can grasp the scope of Huang's vision.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued. So where do we go from here? What's the next chapter in this story?
One area that's especially captivating is the rise of physical AI. We're talking about robots. Robots that can learn and interact with the physical world, not just exist in a digital space.
Robots. This is where it starts to feel like we're stepping into a science fiction movie.
It does feel futuristic, but NVIDIA is already making it a reality with their Omniverse platform.
Okay, tell me more about this Omniverse. What is it exactly?
Imagine a virtual world, so realistic and detailed that it's almost indistinguishable from the real thing. That's Omniverse. It's a platform for creating incredibly complex simulations based on real-world physics.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool, but what does it have to do with robots?
Think of Omniverse as a training ground for robots. Instead of releasing them into the real world and hoping for the best, we can train them in these simulated environments where they can learn and experiment without any risk of causing damage.
That's smart. So it's like giving them a safe space to make mistakes and learn from them.
Exactly. And not only is it safer, but it's also much faster. In these simulations, robots can experience a huge range of scenarios, from different weather conditions to unexpected obstacles, all in a fraction of the time it would take in the real world.
That's brilliant. It's like giving them a crash course in how the world works. But I'm curious, how do you ensure that what they learn in the simulation translates to the real world? Isn't there a risk that they'll be over-reliant on the perfect conditions of the simulation?
That's a great question, and it's something that researchers are actively working on. The key is to make these simulations as realistic as possible, incorporating all the complexities and unpredictability of the real world. It's about finding the right balance between controlled learning and exposure to real-world chaos.
That makes sense. So it's not just about creating a perfect virtual copy of the world, but about incorporating the messiness and randomness that make the real world so challenging.
You got it. And NVIDIA is going even further. With their Cosmos platform, Huang describes Omniverse combined with Cosmos as a sort of ChatGPT for robots, but grounded in the laws of physics.
Wow. ChatGPT for robots. That's a pretty wild concept. So we're not just talking about robots that can move around in a virtual world, but robots that can actually think and reason about their surroundings.
Precisely. It's about giving these robots a deep understanding of how the world works before they ever set foot in it.
This is also fascinating. It's like we're on the verge of a whole new era of robotics.
We are, and Huang paints a vivid picture of this future. A world where everything that moves is robotic, trained in these simulated worlds. Before they enter reality, we're talking self-driving cars, delivery drones, even robots that can assist with complex surgeries or manufacturing processes.
That's both exciting and a little bit intimidating. It makes you wonder what role humans will play in a world where robots are capable of doing so much.
That's a valid concern. The rise of robots and AI raises a lot of important questions about the future of work, the role of humans in society, and the ethical implications of this technology.
Absolutely. But I think it's important to remember that we're still in control. We have the power to shape how these technologies are developed and deployed.
You're right, and part of that is having these conversations,
Right.
exploring the potential benefits and the potential risks, and making sure that we're developing these technologies in a way that aligns with our values.
Okay, I'm definitely ready to delve deeper into those questions.
Hmm.
But I think we've covered a lot of ground for now.
We have. We've gone from the early days of NVIDIA and the power of GPUs to the rise of deep learning and the fascinating world of physical AI. It's been quite a journey.
It has, and I'm eager to hear more about where Huang sees all of this heading. What's next for NVIDIA and for the future of AI?
Well, stay tuned
Mhm.
because we're about to dive into some even more mind-blowing concepts. Huang has some big bets on the future, and they're going to change the world as we know it.
I can't wait to hear what he's got up his sleeve.
So we've talked about how NVIDIA is using these simulated worlds to train robots, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Huang believes that these virtual environments have the potential to revolutionize all sorts of industries, from architecture and engineering to product design, and even filmmaking.
Wait, so you're telling me we could design buildings,
Yeah?
cars, even entire movies in these simulated worlds before we ever build or film anything in the real world?
Exactly. Imagine being able to test and refine a skyscraper's design in a virtual wind tunnel. See how it reacts to different weather conditions, or even simulate how people will move through its spaces, all before laying a single brick.
That's incredible. It would completely change the way we approach design and construction. No more costly redesigns or unexpected problems popping up during construction.
And it's not just about efficiency, it's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible. In these virtual worlds, you can experiment with designs that would be way too risky or expensive to attempt in the real world. You can break the rules of physics, play with gravity, create structures that defy imagination.
That's pretty mind-blowing. I'm starting to see how these simulated worlds could become just as important as the physical world, maybe even more so.
And that's precisely what Huang envisions. He sees a future where the lines between the physical and digital worlds become increasingly blurred, where we seamlessly transition between reality and virtuality.
Okay, I'm with you on the simulated worlds.
Yeah.
But what about those humanoid robots we talked about earlier? I'm still trying to wrap my head around that.
It's definitely a concept that pushes the boundaries of our imagination. But Huang believes that robots designed to interact seamlessly with humans have the potential to revolutionize our lives in ways we can barely fathom.
So it's not just about robots doing our chores. It's about them becoming part of our daily lives, working alongside us, maybe even becoming our friends.
It's certainly a possibility. But to achieve that level of integration, robots need more than just the ability to move around and perform tasks. They need to understand us, our emotions, our intentions, even our unspoken cues.
So it's not just about building robots that look like us. It's about building robots that can think like us.
Yeah. Precisely. It's about creating robots that can perceive and respond to the subtle nuances of human interaction. Imagine a robot that can not only assist an elderly person with their daily tasks, but can also provide companionship and emotional support.
Wow, that would be incredible. But isn't that kind of technology still a long way off?
It's certainly a complex challenge, but researchers are making remarkable progress, and NVIDIA is developing tools and platforms that are accelerating this development. They're creating systems that allow robots to learn from vast data sets of human behavior, to recognize and respond to facial expressions and body language, and even to generate their own natural language.
It sounds like we're moving from a world of programmed robots to a world of robots that can learn and adapt.
Exactly, and that's a fundamental shift. It means robots will no longer be limited to performing pre-programmed tasks in controlled environments. They'll be able to learn new skills, adapt to changing situations, and interact with humans in a more natural and intuitive way.
It's exciting. And a little bit unsettling at the same time. Makes you wonder what the future holds for humans. In a world where robots are becoming increasingly sophisticated.
It's a valid question, and one that we need to grapple with as these technologies continue to evolve. But Huang believes that AI and robotics have the potential to augment human capabilities, to free us from repetitive or dangerous tasks, and to allow us to focus on what makes us uniquely human.
So it's not about robots replacing humans, it's about robots empowering humans.
Exactly. It's about creating a future where humans and robots work together, each contributing their unique strengths and abilities.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. But Huang's vision doesn't stop there, does it? Didn't he also mention something about digital biology? That sounds pretty wild.
He did, and it's one of his most ambitious and potentially transformative ideas. Digital biology is about using AI to unlock the secrets of our own bodies, to understand the complex language of molecules and cells.
Hold on. Using AI to understand biology. How does that even work?
Think of it this way. Our bodies are incredibly complex systems. With billions of cells interacting in intricate ways, we're only just beginning to understand how all these pieces fit together. But imagine using AI to analyze vast amounts of biological data, to identify patterns and connections. That would be impossible for humans to see.
We were talking about using AI to accelerate medical research.
It's much more than that. Imagine being able to create a digital twin of yourself, a virtual model of your entire body that can be used to predict how you might respond to different treatments, to diagnose diseases earlier, even to develop personalized therapies tailored to your unique genetic makeup.
That's incredible. It's like having a virtual crystal ball that can predict your future health.
In a way, yes. But it's also about understanding the fundamental processes of life itself. Digital biology could unlock new insights into how our bodies work, how diseases develop, and how we can prevent or treat them more effectively.
It sounds like we're talking about a whole new era of medicine, powered by AI.
We are. And it's not just about treating diseases, it's about extending human lifespan, improving our quality of life, and understanding the very essence of what it means to be human.
Wow. It's hard to even grasp the potential impact of this technology, but it's clear that digital biology is one of those areas where AI could truly change everything.
It is, and it highlights the fact that AI is no longer just a tool for solving technical problems. It's a tool for understanding ourselves and the world around us.
That's a powerful insight. But Huang isn't just focused on the human body. He's also interested in using AI to address some of the biggest challenges facing our planet, like climate change.
You're right. Juana believes that AI has a crucial role to play in tackling climate change, particularly in the area of climate science. He sees AI as a tool for creating incredibly accurate regional climate and weather predictions.
Okay, I can see how more accurate predictions would be helpful.
Yeah.
But how would that actually help us address climate change?
Think about it. If we can predict with greater certainty where and when extreme weather events will occur, we can prepare more effectively, mitigating the impact on communities and infrastructure. We can also use these predictions to optimize resource allocation, directing aid and support where it's most needed.
So it's about using AI to make us more resilient in the face of a changing climate.
Exactly. But it goes beyond just reacting to events. We can use AI to model different climate scenarios, to understand the complex interactions between human activity and the environment, and to develop more effective strategies for reducing greenhouse gas emissions and mitigating the effects of climate change.
It's amazing to think that the same technology that powers our video games could also hold the key to a more sustainable future.
It speaks to the incredible versatility of AI. But amidst all this talk about the future, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. You might be wondering, how do I as an individual prepare for this AI-powered world? What skills will I need? What changes should I expect?
That's a great point. It's all well and good to talk about these incredible advancements, but what does it mean for everyday people? How can we prepare ourselves for a future that seems to be changing so rapidly?
Well, Huang offers some surprisingly practical advice. He encourages everyone to embrace AI. As a personal tutor and a tool for empowerment, it's like having access to a super intelligent assistant, available 24/7.
I like that analogy. It makes AI seem less intimidating and more like something that can actually help us.
Exactly. AI can help you learn new skills, solve problems more efficiently, and even unlock creative potential you didn't know you had.
So how do we start? Are there specific AI tools that you recommend exploring?
There are so many incredible tools available right now. Experiment with ChatGPT, see what Gemini Pro can do, explore the capabilities of Grok. These are just a few examples. And new tools are emerging all the time.
Wow, it's like a whole new world of learning and exploration is opening up. But I'm guessing there's a learning curve?
There is. But Hong emphasizes the importance of learning, how to interact with AI effectively. It's about understanding how to ask the right questions, how to refine your prompts, and how to extract the most valuable insights from these powerful tools.
So it's like learning a new language, the language of AI.
In a sense, yes. But with practice, it becomes more intuitive, and the rewards are immense. Imagine having a personal tutor who can guide you through complex topics, explain concepts in ways you understand, and help you grasp new ideas faster than you ever thought possible.
It's like having a superpowered study buddy, always available to help you learn and grow.
Exactly. And this brings us to one of Huang's most compelling predictions. He believes the next generation won't be asking, how can I use computers? But how can I use AI?
That's a bold statement. It suggests that AI will become so integrated into our lives that it will be as natural as using a smartphone or browsing the internet. It'll just be something we do, something we expect.
That's the vision, and it's already happening. Think about how we use AI-powered tools like voice assistants, recommendation algorithms, and even spam filters. These are just glimpses of what's to come.
It's both exciting and a little daunting. But ultimately, as Huang points out, AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill. It all depends on how we choose to wield it.
He's right. And that brings us to the heart of the matter. What kind of future do we want to create with this incredible power at our fingertips?
Yeah, it really feels like we're at a crossroads. We have this incredible power in our hands, but it's up to us to decide how we use it. It's kind of like being handed the keys to a spaceship. Exhilarating and a little terrifying all at once.
That's a powerful analogy. And just like with a spaceship, we need a skilled and responsible pilot to guide us. The choices we make today, the way we develop and deploy AI, will determine the course of our journey.
So it's not just about the technology itself, it's about the values and principles that guide its development.
Exactly. We need to be having these conversations, exploring both the potential and the pitfalls of AI. We need to engage with different perspectives and really think critically about the ethical implications of this technology.
It's like we need a set of guidelines, a roadmap for navigating this uncharted territory.
And that's where individuals like Jensen Huang come in. He's not just a brilliant technologist, but he's also a thoughtful leader who understands the importance of responsible innovation.
It's encouraging to hear that the people at the forefront of this technology are also thinking deeply about its implications.
It's crucial because the future of AI isn't something that's happening to us. It's something we're creating together.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation. We started with video games and ended up talking about the future of humanity.
It's amazing how interconnected it all is, and that's what makes Huang's vision so compelling. He sees the potential of AI to transform every aspect of our lives, from the mundane to the profound.
He really paints a vivid picture of the future. A future where robots work alongside us, where we can unlock the secrets of our own biology, and where we can use technology to address some of humanity's most pressing challenges.
But he doesn't shy away from the risks either. He emphasizes the need for responsible development, for safeguards against misuse, and for a thoughtful approach to AI. That prioritizes human well-being.
It's a balancing act, embracing the potential of AI while being mindful of its limitations and potential dangers, being bold in our exploration, while remaining grounded in our values.
Exactly. It's a new era, one where the lines between the physical and digital worlds are becoming blurred. The possibilities seem limitless, but the choices we make today will have consequences that will ripple through generations.
So where do we go from here? What can we as individuals do to prepare for this AI-powered future?
Stay informed, stay curious, engage in these conversations. Don't be afraid to ask tough questions and to challenge assumptions.
I think that's great advice. The more we understand about AI, the better equipped we'll be to shape its development and ensure that it's used for good.
Absolutely. And remember, this isn't just about some far-off future. It's about understanding the forces that are shaping the world right now, the technologies that are transforming industries, the choices that will determine what our lives will look like in the years to come.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from the origins of NVIDIA to the mind-blowing potential of AI. But as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm left with one final provocative question for you to ponder. What world will we create with this incredible power at our fingertips?
It's a question worth reflecting on, a question that should guide our actions, our innovations, and our aspirations, because the future of AI is ultimately a reflection of our own values, our own choices, and our own collective imagination.
We've only just begun to explore the possibilities. And as you continue to delve into the ideas we've discussed today, we encourage you to share your thoughts, your hopes, and your concerns, because this conversation is just beginning.
The future of AI is a story that's still being written.
Right.
And we're all a part of it.